Right now, allies clashing over trade. The U.S. Representative on Trade, Robert Lighthizer, will meet with his EU and Japanese counterparts later this week for a fresh round of trade talks. Both have expressed serious concern about President Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs and believe allies should be excluded. I spoke with White House National Trade Council Director Peter Navarro yesterday about the new policy.
Yeah, I think that the broader debate here is simply that what the president is saying is that we're free traders. We have the lowest combination of tariffs and non-tariff barriers in the world. All we get out of that is massive trade deficits that ship off our wealth, ship off our jobs. And the president says no mas.
Yeah, no mas. Meanwhile, some Republicans are considering legislation to block the tariffs. Joining us right now is former Reagan economic advisor, Harvard economics professor Martin Feldstein. Marty, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be with you, Maria.
Your thoughts. Characterize the situation on tariffs, where we are right now, and whether or not you believe that's going to impact economic growth.
I think the key point about the tariffs is to get the Chinese to change their policies. Their policies about subsidizing industries like steel, but even more important, their policies dealing with intellectual property. In a sense, forcing American companies to transfer technology to the Chinese. So I think they will eventually carve out, I hope they will carve out an exclusion for the Europeans and the Japanese. In other words, for our military allies, there's no reason under the current discussion to impose a tariff on them. But I think the pressure will be on the Chinese to change their policy.
I think you're exactly right, Marty. That is what this is about. But then why didn't we do a more surgical, specific tariff or pushback on China? Now, I understand that that's coming. There is something coming from the White House in terms of some kind of a tariff or pushback against China, because what they're doing is they're participating in venture deals, financing early-stage technology companies, so they're acquiring it that way. And then they're also forcing American companies who want to operate in China to give up their technology. So that is the issue. But right now, the only exemptions we know of are Canada and Mexico.
Yes, because this was all done under legislation that deals with national security and essentially calls for across-the-board tariffs.
Yeah.
But I think they will be able to carve out all of our national security allies and therefore focus the pressure on the Chinese.
Yeah, and that's why the markets turned around.
Right.
Mitch, that's why the markets turned around on Friday when these nuances started emerging.
Once it became more clear that it wasn't going to affect all of our trading partners.
And that we could have all these exemptions.
Right. Professor, just sticking with China for a second, if you look at the stimulus that the administration has, it's really to help Main Street small business. And when I talk to small business owners, the thing that really bothers them when they try to compete is the fact that if you're manufacturing something in the United States, China can be dumping a very similar product and putting you out of business. Do you think as part of whatever the plan is to deal with China and trade, we're going to attack, in addition to intellectual property, attack their dumping practices head on?
If there's explicit dumping, yes. But I think the real issue with China is technology, is forcing American companies that want to sell to a market of more than 1 billion people, forcing them to give up technology in exchange for access to those markets. And there's nothing that we can do to say to the Chinese, well, if you want to deal in the United States, you have to give up your technology here, because that's not the issue. So I think we have a balancing of forcing them through this indirect route of saying we're going to put pressure on your steel and aluminum industries in exchange unless you back off your technology transfer programs.
Professor Mike Baker here. Do you think that strategy is going to work? Which I know that's a big speculative question, but what's your sense?
Yeah, I think nothing works perfectly, but in the past, the Chinese were explicitly stealing technology through the internet, through cyberspace. And when President Obama met with President Xi in California and laid out the detailed knowledge that we had of how they were doing that, how the the Chinese army was using its technology to steal ours. So the Chinese said, okay, you caught us red-handed.
Yeah.
We'll stop having the government back that kind of technology theft. They haven't done it 100%, but it's been an improvement.
Marty, one of the issues here that people keep bringing up is the idea that we could see retaliation. Now, I know that we are going to, Lighthizer is meeting with his European counterparts, so we'll see if this threat about a 25% import tax that the Europeans are talking about actually materializes. But Kristen, you've got deficits. Germany, $64 billion. China, $375 billion. European Union, as a group, $151 billion in deficits. If they push back too much, look what they're giving up. Germany has a $64 billion surplus with the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Does it want to lose that?
Absolutely not. And the bottom line is that the U.S. has the strongest and largest market and economy in the world. And if another nation is cut off from our market, it will hurt them more than it will hurt us.
Yeah.
But now, of course, we're hearing Trump threaten to impose tariffs on all other kinds of EU products like cars.
Right.
And my question is, well, if this does escalate into a full-blown trade war, which I don't think it will, but if it does, is Trump willing to go there? And how far will he go?
Yeah. Is it negotiation or is it real, Marty?
Right.
I think it's negotiation. And I think the danger is if we really went into a trade war, the impact would be on the transition, on the companies in the U.S. that are counting on exports that will lose market share elsewhere. Now, eventually, all those workers will find jobs elsewhere, but there would be a serious short-run loss.
Yeah.
So I think this is negotiation.
You got to believe things are going pretty well. You saw those jobs numbers on Friday, Marty. You still positive about where we are economically speaking? Real quick.
I think, Maria, as you know, I think the U.S. economy now is in a picture-perfect condition. But I still think it's very fragile because while it's lovely to see these high stock prices, I think as interest rates rise, that's a very fragile situation.
Of course. Marty, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Good being with you.
Marty Feldstein joining us there.